Life's good when you're
TV that looks like an
anime fan on prom night.
Distress, that's the way that I get things done. From now to depression, then I speak too long and I hang around like a bomb. I think I'm going nowhere and that makes me nervous. Everybody's at the game, but I feel alright. Everybody's at the game, but I feel alright. Everybody's at the game, but I feel alright. Everybody's thinking about me, but I feel alright. Everybody's at the game, but I feel alright.
You know, of the more insipid criticisms that the Jimquisition regularly receives, one that always stands out is, why does he always talk about negative things? Why can't he be more positive? Well, first of all, it's not my fucking job to be more positive. It's my job to talk about things in the industry that interest or irritate me. If you want the illusion of balance to feel comfortable in your life, go watch a cable news show. Okay? In the meantime, the Jimquisition is going to do what the Jimquisition does. And sometimes he has to pull double duty because the game industry can't keep it in its fucking pants. Thanks, Bethesda. I had a whole day planned out for polishing my boglins, and now I can't because I got to deal with you. Again. Bethesda's so-called Creation Club has finally materialised after its announcement at E3 several months ago. Presented as a way to purchase new content for Fallout 4 and Skyrim, it looked like little more than a thinly veiled way for Bethesda to resurrect its disastrous paid mod scheme. Remember that? Yeah, Bethesda's short-lived attempt to charge for game modifications, an attempt that failed because charging money so blatantly for things PC users have freely enjoyed for decades is just a bad idea. The Creation Club was different, though, at least according to Bethesda, and strangle me while I come if some people didn't actually fucking believe them. Hell, some people defended the Creation Club to me when I said this about Bethesda's little scheme upon announcement. Despite abandoning the paid mods experiment due to massive, well-earned backlash, Bethesda has not abandoned its plans to make money off them. Bethesda revealed the Creation Club for Fallout 4 and Skyrim, a service that definitely isn't paid mods because Bethesda said it wasn't. Okay? Glad we cleared that up. In truth, there are arguments to be had in favour of the Creation Club, with some modders themselves welcoming it and stating that with Bethesda officiating and authenticating the content, it's a far superior idea to the ham-fisted and hasty way it was attempted last time. Despite the validity of any favourable arguments, however, Bethesda's Creation Club was an E3 loser, with heaps of scorn from an audience that had seen Bethesda try and pull this shit before in a thoroughly unpopular way and had no trust for it. Bethesda's spent the week softening the blow and recontextualising the announcement, but until the company can prove it's on the level, the Creation Club is a current flop, and the fact you'll be buying mods with prepaid credits isn't exactly starting us off on the right foot either. This will likely not be the last time the Jimquisition covers this one, and we'll have to see if it recovers from a terrible first impression. Let's get one thing clear though, they are fucking paid mods. Well, here we are then. What I called paid mods are finally here, and despite people swallowing Bethesda's bullshit about mini DLCs, it turns out that, hey, oh wow, I was fucking correct. The Creation Club launched this week, and it turns out that yes, it's basically just a bunch of mods that you pay Bethesda for the privilege of installing. In some cases, this is quite literally literal, as certain items like the Hellfire armor and Chinese stealth suit / armor are not just available as paid items via the Creation Club, but could already have been downloaded for free of charge via modders who already made them. Not only that, but in almost every case it would appear the existing mods are better looking and better built than Bethesda's premium alternatives. The Hellfire armor is the biggest example, with fans simply preferring the mods they could already install to Bethesda's limp-paid version of it. Now, I was far from the only skeptic when it came to the Creation Club, and with Bethesda already catching the spiciest of hot shit with its previous failed attempt at charging for mods, the onus was on the publisher to ensure this recent launch allayed our worries and demonstrated this platform offered something different, something unique, something substantial that justified its existence. What did it do instead? Skins mostly. Existing mods. Basically things you can get anywhere else and have gotten for free for years. The laziest, most obvious, least substantial content you could imagine is what Bethesda chose to launch with. This horse armor meme is Bethesda's opening gambit. This black paint job is Bethesda's initial sales pitch. This fucking chair is supposed to convince us that the Creation Club is not paid mods, but what was it Bethesda kept calling it? Mini DLCs? This is mini DLC, is it? Because it looks like a mod that you're expecting us to pay for. Now, I don't know about any of you, but I'd call a mod that I have to pay for a paid mod. I mean, if I saw a mod and paid for the mod, I'd have paid for a mod, right? That would make it a paid mod, because I paid for it. And it's a mod. It's a paid mod. It's a paid mod, Bethesda. Hey, Bethesda, you know mods? Right, and do you know money? You know about money, right? Right, when you exchange money for things, that's called paying for it. You pay for it. And if the thing you exchanged money for was mods, oh, well, you just gone and dang old bought some paid mods right there, didn't ya? Alright, yeah, I think I made my point. Even worse, because this is the AAA game industry and things always gotta get worse, we've seen exactly how Bethesda's credit system works and it's garbage. See, simply paying for these mods is too simple. You have to first pay for an invented currency and use that to pay for the mods that are paid mods. They're paid mods. They're paid mods. Bethesda highlighted just how awful its credits are by giving 100 credits away free to users. Ordinarily, that would be a good promotional idea, but when 100 credits can only get you a fucking power armor paint job or 2 skins for your Pip... What? Skins for the Pip-Boy? Skins for the... no, hold on. No, shut up. I'm going over there, because you're talking bullshit. What? Holy fuck! Kind of fucks over the point of the promotion when the promotion makes your credits look bad. A fucking recolor of a Pip-Boy costs 50 credits, and anything above the Onyx Power Armor paint job for 100 costs well in excess of those 100 credits. Credits themselves start at 750 for $7.99 and go to 5,500 for $39.99. So hold up. We're buying in-game currency to pay for skins and other tiny little bits of content. Well, hey, maybe I was wrong, because that doesn't sound like paid mods so much as it does microtransactions. Hey, actually, the game industry loves to double down on its bullshit, so why not double down on my rhetoric to match? It's paid mods and microtransactions in a premium game! Together at last! Well done, Bethesda. Well done and fuck you kindly. If I didn't know better enough to realise that Bethesda is just fucking stupid and short-sighted when it comes to this particular subject, I'd almost be willing to believe the publisher deliberately undermined its own service for incomprehensible reasons. I mean, I don't know how you can launch something that so completely confirms people's suspicions and fears without trying to, without purposefully seeing how much goodwill you can tank in a single day. The Creation Club wasn't just the letdown we mostly anticipated, it almost surgically goes through the list of every potential problem and checks every fucking box. If there was a book titled How to Be Very, Very Bad at Launching Things, I'd swear Bethesda had not only read it, but waited in line at the Barnes & Noble for the author's autograph. The only benefit Bethesda's been able to realistically cling to is the fact that these these mini DLCs, are all fully tested and guaranteed to work. Unfortunately for Bethesda, most people don't really give a fuck about that because the benefits of a healthy and active modding community far outweigh the risks of installing content that might not work. The other problem is that Bethesda's guarantee of something working is worth less than pig shit because, well, it's Bethesda. You know. Ultimately, guaranteeing something will work is a weak justification when the best mods are already compatible and it's really not all that risky to install them these days. Maybe if I was gripped with fear every time I installed a mod on Fallout or Skyrim, I'd see the benefit, but I'm not, because at this point, I frankly trust mods not to fuck my game up more than I trust official content, and that's true of many games, not just Bethesda's. The amount of PC ports that modders have had to go in and fucking fix over the years suggests to me that sometimes modders know their shit more than the official developers. You should know all about that, Bethesda. How many times have modders had to fix your games before? Maybe you should think about that the next time you try and present mods as untrustworthy and shiftless to sell your microtransactions. Think about that. The only other benefit is that if you're a PS4 player, then yay, you get to access some more content now. Yay, mods! I mean, you'll have to pay for it, and because Sony is Sony, you can't transfer your credits from the PC like you can on Xbox One, but hooray! Hooray for Bethesda, giving you an opportunity to pay them for things that have been done better for free. Hooray! Outside of that, what's the angle? How is this good for customers? Paid mods were bad enough, but paying for items inferior to mods with credits that'll ensure you're overpaying as it is in a system that essentially turns Fallout 4 into a fee-to-pay microtransaction festival is damn near worthy of applause for how utterly out of touch it is. I mean, if they wanted to prove the Creation Club was not about paying for mods and it was actually for mini DLCs, where are the involving quest lines? Where are the new settlements? Where's the expansive content that demonstrates Bethesda's service, is equal or superior to the free mods we could download on the Nexus? Right now, there are even rumours that the Creation Club is so restrictive, modders can't even make anything more involved than skins and weapons. Oh, it's in beta, I'm sure some will cry, so fucking what? You only get one real launch in this world. First impressions are everything, and if this is the best Bethesda could do, if this is how it plans to introduce its service to the world and demonstrate its capabilities, well, fuck them, because they needed to impress us and instead dribbled out half a glass of cold cum. It's pathetic. Oh wait, no, it's a special brand of pathetic that Bethesda's really good at. It's Bethestic. Bethesda frustrates me to no end because when it comes to AAA publishers, it's actually not that bad. It gets justified shit for its propensity for buggy games and whatnot, but it's often embraced a new IP and it's reportedly quite hands-off with its developers, preferring to let them make good games rather than force multiplayer into things or dive into the loot box economy. Then it goes ahead and pulls something utterly jaw-droppingly boneheaded like this. Unlike your Warner Brothers Interactives of the world, Bethesda doesn't so much find new and horrible depths to sink to, as it does wallow in the same depth it's always wallowed in, fucking up in the same way again and again and again. Refusing to learn from the past and unable to launch things in ways that won't piss its own fans off. At times, Bethesda strikes me as Konami without the malice. While not as acutely incompetent as the Metal Gear mistake makers, Bethesda's prone to pulling moves that could only look like good ideas in a bubble, isolated from public opinion or common sense. We will, of course, have to see where things go from here, and if Bethesda rakes in a ton of cash regardless, well then that'll be that, and we'll get to see mods become the next microtransactions across the industry. Until then, however, this mostly remains a story about Bethesda continuing to be an inconceivable screw-up when it comes to this whole monetization thing. Maybe it should stick to ripping off Hearthstone for its microtransaction fix, because it's clear as day that forcing them into Fallout under the thinly veiled guise of mini DLCs is a waste of time, and if you're a potential customer, it's an incredible waste of money. 1, 2, 3. 3 boglins. 3. That's your numbers for today. That's all I had. Thank God for me. No, that really is all I had.